Really quick before this video starts, I will be live streaming on Sunday, which is tomorrow if you're watching this on Saturday, the upload date. It'll be my first live stream ever. All the details will be at the end of the video, so if you want to hear about that, stick around to the end. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Welcome back to the engine swap. I forgot to record an intro, so don't look over there. That's a little spoiler. I am finally back from vacation. I know you guys missed me. It was great. Thank you for asking. It's 1 week to not think about the absolute bombshell dumpster fire that this has been, not wanting to tear my hair out, not crying. And anyways, we have a lot to do, right? So in this episode, if you guys aren't up to date, somewhere in the corner, I'll link the whole playlist because there's a lot to catch up on. But the gist of it is, this is an engine out of a Honda Accord K20 C4 going into my 10th gen Civic Si. And we have had a ton of problems. The biggest as of lately being first startup, the engine leaked a ton of oil, and that turns out the head was cracked. So attempted to repair it, ran pretty good, didn't leak as much, but there was still a little bit of oil leaking because it turns out the head was cracked all the way underneath and it was leaking and the leak persisted. In addition to that, the trans was leaking, which I talked about in the last video, I believe to be just the axle seals. So getting everything back together, we're going to change the axle seals, get the new head on, and get everything ready to go back into the car so that she can hopefully get on the road before it gets to winter, which is crazy. I want to briefly explain what's going on in these first few clips. I started off by cleaning off the head because I just got it back from machining, so it was covered in little metal particles and pieces, and you don't want that inside your motor. So I cleaned that off and it came out pretty nice. From there, I moved on to actually prepping the block of the motor, and there was a ton of carbon on top of these pistons, and that comes to show, once again, what low-octane fuels do. And this motor only has 38,000 miles, but I wiped that off really quick, came out nice. And then in addition to that, I'm also studding the motor, so upgrading from head bolts to head studs. These are going to give a much better clamp, never have to worry about a head gasket. And then the other part was I had to take apart the old head of the motor and take apart the rockers, take out the VTEC pins. And I haven't talked about this in a while. I'll link it in the corner. I made a whole video talking about the whole VTEC dilemma I had and why I had to make these pins and how VTEC is always on, so it's always on the larger cam. Won't get into detail on that, but I had to swap those over. And then the rest of this install is pretty routine, so I'll let that play out. The engine assembly is complete, and I know I haven't been talking much, I haven't taken many breaks, and that's mainly just because there's not too much to say. This is complete, and there were no issues. It went together smoothly. I've already done this 500,000 times, and I'm sorry if it's boring and you guys have seen this before. I know it's kind of repetitive and it feels like deja vu all over again, but this is the process. obviously shit happens, and well, this is the situation that we're in. But it's overall good. Everything is clean, everything's together well, everything feels good. The next step from here is going to be the carbon cleaning because, well, for a second time, because I had to do it on that one, and now this one also needs it. So I have all the materials over here. Gonna push this outside, do the walnut blasting, and then I also want to clean this off because there's just oil and metal shavings everywhere from the leak and from grinding, the welding area, whole mess. So I'm really not going to go too into depth on this. Really, just again, I already made a video on it, but make sure the valves are closed, spray it with walnuts, clean the walnuts out, repeat through all the cylinders. So I'll get a nice before and after. We'll start that now. This is the best part. Okay, the entire assembly is together, no issues. Again, so used to it at this point. The only problem I do have is that the axle seals, which I talked about, I believe are leaking. I was going to replace, I got 2 new ones. And the issue is, if you look in here, there are arrows and it has an L. I realized I have 2 lefts and apparently axle seals are directional. I had no idea. So I have 2 lefts and I obviously need a left and a right. So got to sort that out. Not a big deal, but I'll get the right seal, put those in. And all that's left is to put on the wiring harness. Now, I would do that right now, but the issue is I'm already in a major time crunch. As I'm recording this right now, it is Friday. I want to have this video edited and uploaded by Saturday morning. And if you look, it's dark outside. So it's already late. I want to have this video out because 1, Saturdays are a good day on YouTube. And 2, on Sunday, I'm officially announcing right now, I'm doing a live stream. So we're going to be trying something different. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you have questions. I feel like it'd be a good way to connect with you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have some of my friends come in. We're going to set up a nice little table, discussion area. We're going to sit down, talk cars. We have some topics we want to talk about. Let all of you ask questions and just try it out. So again, this is something totally new. I don't know how it'll go. If it goes well, who knows? Maybe it could become a routine practice every so often. I'll do a live stream. Again, just something I'm going to try out. But on Sunday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Write it down. If you don't follow me already, check out my Instagram. I will remind you if you do forget. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, live stream. So that is it for this one. In the next episode, I'm going to be getting the wiring harness on. No big deal. Do that quick. And get it in the car and hopefully drive it. So it's going to be a big one in the next video. I should also mention that I'm back into a really heavy schedule. So I'm doing full-time school. I'm doing this silly little YouTube thing on the side. I'm doing work for customers. I want to train and I don't really have a social life. So I really have no time and I'm trying to get these videos out. So just kind of bear with me if the lengths get a little more longer in between. I'm trying to get the videos out as fast as I can and make them as best as I possibly can. But I only do this for fun. It's not like I do this for a living. So bear that in mind. Just want to let everybody know. Again, Sunday, don't forget. And in the next video, hopefully, I'll see you guys on the road.